Hello students, myself is Parminder Singh from Prab Kirpa classes. Our today's topic is what must be in your CV. CV stands for Curriculum Vitae. CV means resume. In our earlier course on the topic job application, we had told you that job application consists of two parts. First is covering letter and the other is resume. We had discussed in detail the format and the necessity of covering letter. Now in this course, we will concentrate on the second part of job application, that is resume. After going through this course, the learners will be able to understand the meaning of resume, what is the purpose of resume, what are the key components of a resume. The students will also understand the format for writing a resume and what is the difference between hard skills and soft skills, and how does CV reach the recruiter. Now we will understand the meaning of resume, purpose of resume, and the key components of resume. First, what is the meaning of resume? Resume is a document that sums up your education, work history, and other relevant skills and accomplishments to obtain a job. It means that when you want to apply for a job, you will have to mention your qualification, your work experience, skills, and what you have done so far, all on a paper in a proper format. And that format is called resume. A resume should be well written and tailored to the specific job you are applying for. It means that if your handwriting is not legible, the other person to whom you are sending your resume is not able to read what you have written, then the purpose of writing the resume fails. So it should be either well written, properly drafted, or preferably we should have it typed. And the other point is tailored to the specific job. It means that we should mention all the relevant points which we have in us, that is the specific qualities which are relevant to the job should be mentioned in the resume. It is not that when the job is for a accounts officer, you are mentioning your marketing qualities. You are to mention the aspects or the qualities which are in you, which pertain to the accounts. Then always submit your resume with a cover letter. We will concentrate on this point later on. It means that sometimes the person who is applying for the job sends his resume without a cover letter. He thinks that it is not necessary. When he is sending the resume, all his particulars are mentioned in it. But it has been found from the research that the chances of getting the job increase if you attach covering letter with the resume. Otherwise, the person who is going through the resume or who has received your job application may not attend to your resume if it is without covering letter. Then what is the purpose of a resume? Resume serves as a marketing tool to sell yourself to the potential employer. How marketing tool? Whenever we launch a product in the market, we have to tell the public what are the essential benefits or the qualities which make it superior in comparison to other products available in the market, such as pricing or the purpose for which it has been produced or manufactured. In the same way, we have to tell to the potential employer what are the benefits which are in us, or the skills which are there in us which may be beneficial for the organization. Resume demonstrates why you are the best candidate for the job. It is important to understand that a resume is not an exhaustive list of everything. It means that you have not to mention all the details and your resume go in lengthy pages, many pages. It is not to be so, but rather a selective and brief representation of your most relevant experience and skills. It means that resume has to be brief and only the relevant skills, accomplishments, or other details which are relevant to the job description, only that have to be mentioned in the resume. And another important point, regularly update your resume. It may be possible that you are having 3 years of experience in teaching, and with the passage of time 4 years have elapsed, but you have not updated your resume. When suppose you apply for a job and the other person is having 4 years experience, but you have not updated your resume with the latest qualification or experience, then it is quite possible that the other person may get the job. So it becomes all the most, it also becomes necessary that we should update our resume from time to time so that it reflects our current situation. A well-crafted resume increases your chances of being selected for an interview. It is not that you apply for a job and send him covering letter and resume, the other person, that is the potential employer, will select you, because as already told in the previous course that unemployment is rising because the population is rising. On the other hand, many large companies or small companies, even MNCs like Microsoft, Apple, TCS, Infosys, and other companies have announced job cuts because of the different reasons which may be prevailing according to the different situations. So if your resume is not proper, you may not get the job because you will not be called for the interview. The main of a resume is to get you noticed by the hiring manager and persuade him or her to invite you for an interview where you can further show your abilities and make a strong case for why you should be hired for the job. If your resume is properly drafted, it is attractive and it has all the necessary details which are relevant to the job description, it will make the your resume attractive to the hiring manager, so he will call you for the interview. Now another important point, make sure to include a section of your skills and highlight those that are relevant to the job you are applying for. It means that you may be having many skills or education which are relevant to the, may or may not be relevant to the job description. Then you are to highlight those skills and those accomplishments which are relevant to the job description. Job descriptions means what is expected from the employee, or the qualities which the potential employer wants from the employee as per his ad given in the newspaper or on social media or other platform. Now, the key components of a resume. First is contact information. Contact information means first we have to write our name, address, our contact number, which may be our mobile number or telephone number, and we have also to mention email address because today most of the people use email. So you may be called through email for an interview. So email address is also necessary. Second key component is education. You have to mention your academic background, that is the name of the institution where you attended for the education and the courses or degrees which you have earned. Third point is skills. You have to mention the hard skills and soft skills which are relevant to the job. Fourth key component of a resume is work experience. If a job description says that you have must have 3 years of experience, then this is the work experience, a list of your previous work experiences including job title, that is the position which you held. In that position you may have worked as the principal of a school or the manager in some organization. Then the duration or the time period for which you had that job, what were your key responsibilities or which responsibilities are you performing in that organization, and what are your achievements while you are on that job, or what achievements you might have achieved while performing that previous job. Then additional sections, if required you may add sections on awards, certificates or volunteer work you may have done. Last but not the least, keywords. You have to include relevant keywords from the job description. It increases your chances of getting selected for an interview. We may add that we have already uploaded many courses on YouTube and other online platforms like good communication skills, how to manage stress, web applications, time management skills, most common mistakes in English grammar, and English tenses, future tense, past tense, present tense, and many more. Now the topic before us is what should be the format of the resume. This is the format which is before you. First of all, you have to mention your name followed by father's name. Then you have to mention your date of birth followed by your residential or correspondence address. Then you have to mention your age, and here you have to mention your mobile number or telephone number. Then you have to mention your email address because in these days of technical advancements, most of the correspondence is made through email. Then you have to mention to which country do you belong, nationality. Then you have to mention whether you are single or married, marital status. Then you have to mention your qualifications in a tabular form. You can see here that here is written name of examination, name of the board or university, year of passing, division or percentage of marks, and then you have to fill all these columns as per your degrees or courses which you have obtained or earned. Then you have to mention your work experience. Please note that we have to mention the latest experience in the front, latest to the oldest, that is the latest experience has to be mentioned first, and then we have to mention the old work experiences. Then you have to mention your achievements in your job. Then the languages which may be known to you, English, German, French, or any other skills, then hobbies. Then you have to give the reference of the persons who know you and can give a response to the employer that you are a good person and you can be hired. That is those persons who can give a type of character certificate for you to the prospective employer if the prospective employer approaches them. Then here you have to give declaration that all the details which have been given above are true to the best of my knowledge. Then you have to mention the date on which you are writing the resume. Then you have to mention the place, and then you have to sign the biodata. Suppose there is an advertisement in a newspaper in which it is written that wanted an English teacher. ABC public school requires an English teacher. From here you can see that the job offered is English teacher. Qualification: graduate with 3 to 5 years of experience. That is the qualification asked for is minimum graduate, and he must also have experience of teaching the students. Then this is the address where your application should reach. This is the format or the writing of the cover letter which you have to write for applying to the said job. This is your name and address. All this format of the covering letter has been discussed by us in detail in our earlier course on job application. However, we will discuss the same in brief. This is the format of cover letter. First of all, this is the name and address of the job seeker. Then this is followed by date on which you are writing the job application or cover letter. This is the address of the person to whom you are applying for job. This is followed by the subject. Subject means application for the post of. It may be possible that in the advertisement there are many teachers, many posts of different types of teachers. Suppose in advertisement say that teachers are required for the following streams like English, economics, math. Then you have to specifically mention in your cover letter application for the post of English teacher or math teacher, economics teacher or any other. Specifically mention the subject for subject teacher for which you are applying. Then you have to give salutation, proper regard to the prospective employer. Then you have to give the reference from where you have come to know about the job. Here we have mentioned that in response to your advertisement in Time Express dated this for the post of English teacher in your renowned school, I wish to offer my candidature. Then you have to briefly tell about your qualification or your teaching work experience. I am a postgraduate in English. I have completed my master's in English. I have 3 years experience in LMJ Public School, New Delhi. I have taught students from class 8th to 12th. I am hardworking. You have to mention your qualities. I am hardworking, punctual, honest. I believe that I can play a good role in providing quality education. I can use my skills and experience to help and mold students and improve their communication skills. Here, this is what was this? This was the source from which you came to know. This is your qualification and work experience and other qualities. Then you have to mention the documents which you are enclosing with the cover letter. I am enclosing a copy of my biodata and experience certificate for your perusal and kind consideration. I am available for interview. Here you have to make appeal that you should be called for interview. I am available for interview on any day of your convenience. If given a chance to serve you, I assure you that I shall work with devotion and sincerity. Looking forward to hearing from you. Then you have to end the cover letter. Thank you, yours faithfully. You have to mention your name. Then you have to mention uh, in detail the documents which you have enclosed with the cover letter. That is biodata, experience certificate, photograph. Now this is the biodata or resume which you have to enclose along with that cover letter. You are not to send only your resume or covering letter. As already told, that the chances of yourself being called for the interview increase if you attach resume with cover letter. If you send only cover letter or only resume, it may be possible that you may not be called for the interview, because the potential employer may think that he does not know how to write a job application letter, or he does not have the proper communication skills, or he does not have the written writing skills, how to draft proper job application letter. So this is the biodata. As already told, you have to first mention your name, father's name, your date of birth, age, address, email address, your qualification and work experience, languages, skills. You have to mention all that. But please note that you have to mention only the relevant qualifications or skills which pertaining to teaching. Suppose you have also worked in the past as salesperson. Here you are to concentrate only on teaching what you have work experience as a teacher and not as a sales manager. These are the hobbies: to play badminton, to read books. These are the skills: computer literate, good communication skills. Here you have given the reference of the person who can give assurance to the prospective employer that you are a good person and can be employed for the organization. This is the declaration, then this is followed by the date, place and your signatures. What are those factors that affect how long a recruiter will spend reading your CV? In our next course on 13 useful resume writing tips, we will tell you how much time a prospective employer spends on reading your CV. From that, you will come to know the importance of writing a well-crafted resume. Now come to the factors which affect the time which a prospective employer may spend on reading your resume. First is volume of application. Suppose if you are an employer and you want to hire an English teacher for your school, and you give an advertisement in the newspaper and you receive only 5 applications per day, then you have enough time to go through each of the resume. But if you receive 50 job applications or resumes per day, then naturally you will have very less time to go through each resume. So first factor is volume of job applications. Second point, junior or senior positions. as you know, that for the low cadre jobs such as clerical level posts or peons or substaff level or other clerical posts, if you give an advertisement in the newspaper or on social media or any other platform, you may receive hundreds or thousands of applications because the qualification or the skills required for the job are very less. So as most of the population has less qualification and less skills, so the number of applications will be very large. But if you invite an application for the post of Chief Executive Officer Marketing or Chief Executive Officer of a particular organization having particular technical skills or other work experience, the number of applications will naturally reduce drastically. Only a few persons may be eligible or may apply for the same. So for the junior level positions, the number of applications are very enormous or large in number. Or for the senior positions, the number of job applications or resumes are very less, as there are only few persons who can be eligible for the senior positions. Then next factor is internal recruiter or outside agency. If we are the head of a particular organization and we may ask a particular department to hire the different jobs, and that department may follow their own procedure, say 1 month or 2 month time to hire the people. So they may have enough time or they may take their own time so that the best persons can be hired for the job by going through their resume or calling for interview, etc. But if you hire an outside agency, then the position is different, because in this competitive world there may be many outside agencies which may be doing the task of hiring the persons on behalf of the other persons. So if the outside agency is hired to seek the eligible persons, then the outside agency will go through the resume very fastly, because if they finish your job, then they will be able to perform the next job or assignment of from the next organization, from the other organization. So when you hire an outside agency, then it will be in a hurry and will go through CVs at a fast speed to find the perfect candidate. So internal recruiter takes more time and the outside agency will finish the same job in a minimum possible time, because that organization is only earned with the money which he will receive and not with the quality of the person he may point or he may recommend for the job. How does CV reach the recruiter? CV may reach the recruiter in three ways. First is inviting job applications through advertisement. You may give an advertisement on some social platform or in newspaper, and the job seekers will go through the advertisement and will apply for the same. And the second source is CV database search. It may be that you may be having some data of CVs of the persons which are working in your organization. Suppose you want to recruit a person for the post of sales manager. And there may be many persons in your sales department who may be performing well and can be promoted to the cadre of sales manager. So you can go through the database which may be available in your organization, and you can go through the same and find out the suitable candidate which may be appointed for the said post. Next database may be that there are many sites which are available online which may provide or are providing the resumes of job seekers. You can also go through that database of that sites to find out the suitable candidate. Next, third point is recommendations and referrals. We have discussed this job applications through advertisement, then database search. Now we come to recommendation or referral. Suppose this is your friend A. He is the head of an organization XYZ. This organization wants a marketing manager, and you are his friend B. Now the head of XYZ organization tells you that he requires a marketing manager. It is possible that you may be having another person C as your friend. You are having a friend named C, and he is MBA, Master in Business Administration, and he has performed in many MNCs or many other reputed organizations, and you think that he can be the best person for this job. You can recommend his name. You being B can recommend the name of C to A. This is recommendation or referral. Now A believes you that you will recommend only a good person to him, because you will recommend the name of only that person to whom you trust. Recommendations and referrals will be reviewed the longest of these three methods. It means that whenever a job application or resume comes through recommendation or referral, such as when your friend or relative or other known person recommends the name to you of another third person, then that resume or job application will be having more time drawn from the prospective employer. This is another point. Only on average, only 11% of the applications applicants are considered suitable for the roles they are applying to. It means that most of the persons are not eligible for the jobs, for job descriptions they are applying. They simply apply. They do not see that whether they are eligible or not. An important question: when to send your job application via email? As per a research, Mondays are best, Fridays and Saturdays are worst when you apply for a job through email. However, if you apply within 96 hours after a job gets published, the chances of your getting an interview will be 8 times more. It means that within 3 days you should apply for the job from the date of publication of ad in the newspaper. After that, it means that after 3 days from the date of publication of job ad, delay of each single day reduces your chances by 28%. Then what is the best time for sending job application? Monday is the best, and the timing is between 6 and 10 a.m. That is in the mornings between 6 and 10. Next, whether you should use cover letter when applying for a job, or why a cover letter is important. Yes, it is generally recommended that we should use cover letter when applying for a job. Why? A cover letter provides you an opportunity to highlight your relevant skills and qualifications and explain why you are a good fit for the job you are applying for. It may be possible that you have worked in 3 different organizations and you are applying for the 4th time. When you are writing the biodata, you will mention only the work experience that I have worked in 3 different organizations. But in the biodata, you cannot mention the reasons for leaving that 3 organizations or the earlier organization, why you are leaving the previous organization. It may be that you are leaving the previous organization because of better perks or better opportunities in search of better career. So that point you cannot mention in the resume. You can mention that point, reason for leaving the earlier organization, only in the covering letter. Then it is quite possible that you have not done any job for between 2 employments. Suppose you have worked in an organization up to January 22 and the next you have started in April. Then there is a gap of 2 months or more in the 2 employments. Then that employment gap you have to also clarify for the same in your job application. In your covering letter, you can mention that the my family circumstances were such that I could not continue in any other job, such as my father was seriously ill and remained hospitalized for 3 months. There were some other family problems which forced me not to do any work. So these are the points which make it relevant for you to write or attach a covering letter with your resume. Further, an important point, most hiring managers say that cover letters are important for their hiring decision. That is, they give importance to the point that the covering letter is attached to the resume. Now another question, do candidates can send cover letters? No matter what the job ad says, even if the job ad says that you should send covering letter as well as resume, most of the students or job seekers do not send covering letter. They send without covering letter. They send only resume. Next point, should you send a cover letter if it is optional? There is no mention, or it is mentioned that you may or may not send covering letter. You may only send resume. Even answer is, even if the job ad states that cover letter is optional, you should send a cover letter. It has been found that majority of the employers or prospective hiring managers give preference to the candidates who send a cover letter along with the resume. Cover letter becomes necessary when a cover letter is required as per the job ad. If the job ad says that you are to send covering letter, you must send. If the job ad says that the cover letter is required and you do not send the same, it is likely that the decision maker will think that when at the initial time you are not following the instructions, then what will you do in future? So it is likely that decision maker will not consider your job application and you may not get the call for interview. Now we will understand the difference between hard skills and soft skills. Question before us is, employers are looking to hire employees who have the right mix of two different types of skills. What are those skills? Answer is, employers are looking to hire employees who have the right mix of two different types of skills, that is soft skills and hard skills. Then what is the meaning of hard skills? Hard skills are those skills that you learn through specialized education or training. It is quite possible that you may have learned many computer languages, so this is your hard skill. You may have specialization in any other field, which you may have got through special training or through some special technical education. That skill falls in the category of hard skill. Some examples of hard skills are proficiency in industry related software, fluency in a foreign language, medical or scientific knowledge, that is nursing, lab techniques, etc. Then digital marketing, SEO, social marketing, social media advertising, etc. Hard skills are usually teachable. That is, these skills can be taught. These skills are often quantifiable. That is, you can quantify the same. Now, what are the soft skills? Soft skills are the abilities you can apply to almost any position. Whether you are a professional or any other person, you can apply the soft skill to any job which you are holding. Soft skills are typically personality traits and therefore extremely valuable to the employers. Soft skills are also known as social skills. Some examples of soft skills are communication skills, leadership, teamwork, adaptability, problem solving, time management, how to manage the different jobs, how to give time as you have a lot of work to do before you, how to manage yourself, self management. These are all soft skills which you require or which may help you in performing your job, whether you are holding any technical position or a normal position. If you possess many hard skills, it increases your value and competitiveness in the job market. But at the same time, it is also important for you to develop soft skills to communicate, cooperate, and lead in the workplace. Workplace means any place such as office, factory, workshop, studio, shop, plant, where we work. Then these are the 13 useful tips for creating a well-crafted resume. We will discuss the same in our next course. Now this is another important question. How much time do recruiters spend on reading CVs? We will also discuss the same in our next course. Now we will conclude this course. Resume writing is an important part of job search process. Use an effective format. Keep it up to date. Avoid long sentences. If you like our video, please like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.